I'm the dude. So that's what you call me.
Are you a virgin?
Yeah, not since I was 10.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Come on to the coast. We get together, have a few laughs.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
Welcome back to Movie Mingle. I'm Caveman.
And I'm Maggie.
And today we are on episode 20.
Wow.
We got there already.
Yeah, we did.
20 down.
And 5 to go.
5 to go.
Yeah.
And that's it for season 2.
Yeah, I know. Look at what we've done again.
But being episode 20,
yes,
that means that we are doing an animated film, and we watched for the first time for both of us, The Triplets of Belleville, a French film from 2003, directed by Sylvain Chomet, or Chomet, or trying to guess how just pronounce French names when I don't know how to pronounce French words.
I can say so many few things in French. I can say.
I'm going to guess, Chalamet, but Chomet.
Chomet. Okay.
Yeah. Sylvain Chomet is the director, nominated for 4 Oscars during his life. 2 for this movie alone. 1 for The Illusionist that came out in 2010, which was another movie that I remember at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Nominated for Best Animated Feature. And then, kind of realizing then and there that this was the same person who did The Triplets of Belleville. He has a very specific style that you can kind of just guess right off the
it's
right
a
off the
very
bat
unique looking film.
And his 4th Oscar nomination came from a short film he did in 1998 called The Old Lady and the Pigeons.
Okay.
He did another movie called Attila Marcel, which is a live-action film from 2013. It's about a man in his 30s. He lives in Paris, like a Paris apartment with his 2 aunts. And they're 2 old aristocrats who have raised him since he was 2 years old. They dream of him, seeing him become a virtuoso pianist.
Okay.
It sounds interesting enough, and it sounds like something that you would see in one of his animated films, but it's interesting that it's a live-action one. His most recent animated film from 2025 is called A Magnificent Life, and it follows the life of a playwright, novelist, and filmmaker who grew up in the middle-class household in Marseille. Once again, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce French names. He also wrote The Triplets of Belleville. He writes everything he directs. After we watched The Triplets of Belleville, I showed you the kind of like a Simpsons short. It was a couch gag in 2012, I think. It was season 25. There was a couch gag that Sylvain Chomet created for The Simpsons.
And it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And it's also very much in his style. And it's like, take this movie and mash it with The Simpsons, and that's the couch gag. The music was by Benoit Charest, one of those. Born in Canada, I'm guessing French-Canadian. 47 projects since the early 90s, and the only movie I know from him is a French film called Polytechnique, because it was directed by Denis Villeneuve. It was his 3rd film that Benoit did the music for. He was nominated for an Oscar for The Triplets of Belleville for Best Song, which we hear a few times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And I think I remember that Oscars.
I remember those Oscars. Yeah.
Cinematography was from Thierry Million. He was the art director, and Evgeny Tomov was the production designer. But Sylvain Chomet definitely has his specific type of animation that he already adds to his films. Rotten Tomatoes has Triplets of Belleville at 94% from critics and a 90% from audiences.
Yeah, people are into this goddamn film. I remember when it came out, there was a certain level of pretentiousness surrounding it. Because it was French and it was anti-Disney.
Does any movie that a person likes, do they like it just to be pretentious?
I mean, I think a lot of people like movies without being pretentious about it. But I remember this particular movie, there were a lot of hipsters that were into it. There were a lot of people that I knew that were like, oh, I don't watch American-made films. I only watch foreign films. Have you seen the Triplets of Belleville? You know, it was like the vibe.
That's how they were talking to you about Triplets of Belleville?
I mean, I feel like it. Like, I just remember that there was a certain level of, like, hipster bullshit, or, like, hipster bullshit attitudes around this film when it first came out, and around the Oscars, and around the fact that, you know, Finding Nemo and everything. And I feel like I just remember people being a little pretentious about this film and like, oh, it's the best. No, it's so much better. And I think, because I remember then being like, well, fuck it. I don't want to watch it then, right? Like, there's a certain level of hipster bullshit that I can't handle. And this was like perfect hipster bullshit time.
I understand when a group of people who are annoying.
Yeah. Annoying hipsters.
And they annoyingly tell you that you're watching the wrong things.
Yes.
That you should watch these things.
Yeah.
So you're automatically like, well, I don't give a shit about that thing now.
Like, no, I won't.
Because if you like it, then I don't like it just out of spite.
Yeah. And
I understand that.
That was kind of my feeling around this particular film, is especially in like the few years following, you know, the older that I got, the more hipsters that and that was like prime hipster time too, those early 2000s when the counterculture was so fucking annoying. And this being sort of a counterculture film of that time, you know, like I ran into a lot of skinny white men that ranted to me about how great this movie is. And I think I was like, well, fuck that then. I don't care. So that's what I remember about this movie coming out. Having seen it, my opinion has changed somewhat on it. But yeah, I remember a lot of pretension about it.
I won't tell you that one of my favorite movies is a black and white French film from the 90s.
Oh, shut the hell up, you pretentious hipster.
La Haine, for anybody who wants to watch it.
You are a grown-ass man who has watched several movies, and I know your taste in film from the worst to the best. So you liking a 90s black and white French film like that, if you being like, this is in my top 5 favorite films, that's great. You deserve that. Right? You've seen thousands of films at this point in your life.
At this point in my life?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's...
Probably, right? Yeah, hundreds upon hundreds, if not in the thousands.
It's in the thousands.
You've got a great... I've known you for so long. I know what a great mind you have for pop culture and for stories and for film and for that art as a medium. So you saying that one of your favorite movies is a French black and white film from the 90s, it makes sense. You're like, oh, of course, he's into film. Some douchebag 22-year-old with a pencil-thin mustache and, like, tweed that he got at Value Village telling me that, oh, my favorite film is actually a French film. It's in black and white. You've never heard of it. That guy can eat dicks and die. It's a different type of person and attitude. That guy has never actually seen a French movie in his life and is just pretending you've seen your shit and you know what you're talking about. It's different. You're not pretentious about this particular type of art. In general, you're not pretentious about anything.
No, I'm really not.
You're really not.
Because you can like what you like, and I I legitimately really like shitty movies.
Yeah.
And
you were just watching Vertical Limit.
Vertical Limit. I know it's a bad movie. I'm going into it knowing that it's a bad movie. Yeah. And I'm there just to, I discovered that...
You had a hell of a time.
I discovered that Ben Mendelsohn is in that movie, and he's completely nude in it. And I never knew that was him until my rewatch.
Yeah, and you're like,
just like, holy shit, that's that guy that I remember from back in the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Being like, who's this weird guy who's just naked in the snow?
In the year 2000.
And then I find out many years later that he's one of my favorite actors of recently.
He's such a good fucking actor. That guy is so good at what he does. I love him so much.
Was that too long, Cheryl? Or is this stuff just gotten better than we thought?
See, and I know
Yeah.
That you don't need.
No.
You have no interest in those, like, 1 star to 2.5 star films.
It has to be. I have to be in the right mood, and it has to be the right film. Like Timeline, fuck yeah, forever. And if you haven't listened to us talk at length,
I'm so glad that you like that movie.
At length,
and that's really like that's really the only as of recent where I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to rewatch
yes,
this?
this is true.
And that's like the one that you really attached to. Whereas
I'm really attached to Timeline, yeah.
Whereas like I didn't get you to really have any interest in Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, I mean, like, it was there. I enjoyed Timothy Olyphant in it. The rest of it I could not have cared less about.
Last night I was watching The Meg.
I know. I came in and was like, what's he oh, that's what he's watching. And I turned it off and went to bed. Or tried to. I didn't sleep last night. I also would like to think, by the way, that I'm not that pretentious, but it does depend on the topic. It does. A little bit. I have like...
You're probably a little more pretentious about music.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm absolutely... I will make fun of you for liking Creed until the day I die. And that goes to all of you Creed listeners out there, because even God hates Creed. So yeah, I am more pretentious about music, but I am trying to let people like their things and not yuck their yums as much anymore, but there are certain levels that I won't cross. I will never support Nickelback. Ever.
There are certain mornings. Every Friday morning.
Yeah.
I have to listen to pop country.
Ugh, God, kill me. Is it like modern pop country?
Modern pop country.
Oh, God,
sometimes
kill
they
me.
Sometimes it's a little old, like 90s.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
90s country is where it's at.
But it's pop. Like, I still don't like the pop stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the lyrics are too corny.
Oh, so fucking stupid.
And
it's all about
I
my
just don't
truck and my girl.
care, and it all just sounds like red state propaganda, and I'm just like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
What I love is, Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and Neil.
Ladies and gentlemen, and who is it?
For what?
The Family Guy joke. Ladies and gentlemen, here's blank, and then it would
Conway Twitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Conway Twitty. Yes. Yeah, fucking...
So I like old school
Yeah, you
country.
like old school outlaw country.
Outlaw country.
You
I like modern country that is actually good.
Country. What's good country anymore?
Well written. I need good like Sturgill Simpson.
Oh, yes. You love Sturgill Simpson.
He's an amazing songwriter.
Him a country artist?
Oh, he's super country.
I mean, yeah, he's done some bluegrass records.
He's got 2 bluegrass records, 1 like actual country record, rock and roll record.
Yeah,
like he does go around genres.
Yeah,
but
Sturgill Simpson's pretty
he's
cool.
very much still like a Southern guy.
Yeah, you know who's rad is Alan Jackson. I fucking love Alan Jackson. Oh my God, and early Brooks and Dunn. That was my country. That like solid 90s country. And every once in a while at work, I will put on a 90s country playlist, and everybody bangs to it. Everybody bops. Everybody's singing along, laughing, like doing the dances. I feel like 90s country has the same level of joy as like mariachi or Tejana music, like we were talking about recently with Selena.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can't not dance to that music. You can't not sway, and like 90s country was great for that. And all these songs that I heard a billion times working at Molly Brown's Country Cafe, or growing up with a dad and a grandpa that listened to a lot of country music and a mom that listened to a lot of country music. Like, it was so prevalent growing up where we did. I know all of the lyrics to all those songs, even though I haven't heard them in 20 years. They just start playing, and I'm like, oh, well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Like, you just know. Anyways, Rotten Tomatoes gave this like 91 or something.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the Triplets of Belleville.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it 94.
Yeah.
Audiences gave it 90.
Yes, people like this movie.
Letterboxd gave it a 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Metascore of 91, which
that's ridiculous.
Wow,
that
especially
is
because IMDb
unbelievable.
Especially because IMDb gave it a 7.7.
That's really good.
Usually when IMDb gives something a 7.7, Metascore is like 80s, 60s. It's like
I haven't
highly disagree.
I have never heard of anyone disliking this movie.
Well, it still brought it to an average of 86%.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, happy anniversary, Producer Robin. We've had you for 3 years today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Producer Robin's...
A third anniversary of his on-hire date.
On hire date, yes. He was hired.
He was hired 3 years ago
3
today.
years ago today.
The little tiny kitten who was so small.
So small.
And a dick from the beginning.
I knew he was going to be trouble.
Yeah.
And I said no. And everybody else said yes.
And then he said, I love you.
And then he said, I love you the most, Caveman. The Triplets of Belleville was made for $9.5 million. That's in American dollars. It made $7 million domestically. And by domestically, I mean
France?
America.
Oh.
$7 million still for an animated, foreign animated film in 2003 is, to me, not bad. A lot of Japanese anime that comes over here doesn't make that much. However, recently that has changed with things like Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, and Chainsaw Man, and some other things that have recently come out that have actually made some, and taken the 1 and 2 spot over the weekend.
Yeah. But also more people know about this stuff because of its availability on streaming, because of the internet, because of all those things.
And more theaters being willing to show it.
Mm-hmm. And so, but I think that's because there's, there seems like to be such a love of Chainsaw Man. And everybody I talk to is like, oh yeah, I fucking love Dragon Slayer Infinity Gauntlet or whatever the fuck. So many people have told me about how great that movie is, and I'm like, I did not know you liked that sort of stuff.
My child took me to that.
Yep.
To watch, so that they could watch with their friend. Yeah, very insistent. And at first I was like, I'll just buy your ticket and you can just go in there and I'll wander somewhere. But then I was like, you know what? Why not just sit in the theater and watch a movie? It's animated.
Yeah.
I like anime. I grew up on 90s anime and early 2000s, and so I was like, oh sure, I'll do it. And then I legitimately enjoyed myself because the animation was really good, and because the story was good enough to bring somebody who had never watched it at least give you a taste of what's happening. They didn't keep you in the dark. They're really, anime is very good about this is what's happening. When they go from TV show to movie, they do a lot of recap of the show, or they at least give you enough of an idea of what's happening, and it made me want to watch more. And so my kid and I have been going through some Demon Slayer episodes. It made $7.7 million internationally. 4.5 million of that was from France. The fact that this movie made more in America than it did in France is kind of surprising. Or
that's 4 million in American?
It's 4.5 million American.
So
this is all in USD.
So at the time, it could have been
at the
higher.
No, it was 7 million
in euros. I wonder what they made in euros. What's the conversion rate?
I don't think euros were a thing yet because the
2003. I mean, yeah, no, they absolutely were, because I was in Switzerland in 2004 and I was actively using euros.
Some of the dollar amounts that I was looking at earlier were in pounds, specifically pounds, but not even francs. But
it's a French film, but the BBC had a hand in it, so I don't know if that helps at all.
But all the numbers I got are in American dollars. Okay. I was just surprised that it domestically made more than France. But that was a total of 15 million, which is 5.5 million over budget. But I don't think this artist, with what I've seen and what it looks like he does, he's not in it to be a multi-millionaire or
no, he's not in it for the money. He's
an artist.
Yeah.
And I actually do look forward to watching The Illusionist. That may not be on this podcast, but
illusions, Michael.
So, this is the magic trick, huh?
Illusion, Michael. Trick is something a whore does for money.
Or it can be.
And even his newer stuff, and even his live-action film, I'd probably enjoy.
Well, if it's stuff that you think that I will enjoy, feel free to call me in or we can watch it again together. But I don't plan on seeking out his stuff
Did you watch
in the future.
you watched the trailer for The Illusionist?
Yeah,
it
did look.
It did look at least
very
interesting.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we were watching it, I was like, well, now that I've seen the Triplets of Belleville, I would watch this too.
I mean, it's an Oscar-nominated animated film.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you. I will watch it with you. I just
We'll get
you're
there.
like, I'm gonna watch all the stuff and his live action stuff, and I'm just like, have fun.
It's like 2 movies.
Have
3
fun.
at most.
I got things to do.
The Triplets of Belleville did win 20 awards and was nominated for another 42.
Damn.
Like I said earlier, it was nominated for 2 Oscars. One of them was Best Animated Film. Brother Bear was also nominated that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Finding Nemo was the winner, which is the start of this whole, of us choosing Triplets of Belleville to be...
Was because we had talked about it during the Finding Nemo episode forever and a day ago. Which, folks, if you like our animated episodes, we've got plenty of them.
So many animated
So many of them.
episodes, yeah.
Definitely covering most Pixar films. So, just poke through the list. See what's
we've
there.
done Pixar and DreamWorks and Sony. It was also nominated for Best Original Song, the Belleville Rendezvous. Some of the other nominees, which is I think the main reason why I remember this Oscar year, was because of these performances. I remember these back when they actually performed on stage, which I miss, and I hope they go back to it.
I mean, everybody's always bitching about how long the Oscars is, which makes sense, but it's
What
not
else do
the
you
fault
have to-
of the songs.
Like it's an event.
Yeah.
It's once a year.
Yeah, let it be 3
If it's
plus
4 or
hours.
5 hours, I would
As long
watch
as it's
it
entertaining,
all.
as long as the host is good and it is entertaining.
Keep me entertained.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm in it to win it when it comes to the
I'm
Oscars.
interested. I love
And I
live
want
performances.
all of it. Yeah, I want the live performances. I want the dumb songs and dances. I want the bad jokes. I want Conan to only ever host the Oscars.
Oh man, when Conan gets
Feisty.
stuck in a corner.
Oh, I know.
And this last, like the first Oscars went really smooth.
Yeah.
This last Oscars, I think he got into a corner a little bit
couple
more
of
than
times.
the last one. So just seeing him get his way out is
Wiggle
always
his way out, yeah.
that's entertaining alone. So
That's entertainment.
the other nominees for Best Original Song were also "A Kiss at the End of the Rainbow."
Oh,
I know, performed by Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
I love that song
May she rest in
so
peace.
much. We really need to cover A Mighty Wind on this show.
Any
Christopher Guest,
Any
but I think that
Christopher
one is
Guest movie.
so underrated
You're
for
right.
how fucking good it is.
because everybody always talks about
Best in Show.
Best in Show and
Bleeding for Guffman?
no, Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
That's their biggest one. And
Yeah, Best in Show is great. Don't
Best
get me
in
wrong.
Show is
A
definitely-
Mighty Wind is the superior film, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate it because I don't think a lot of people know folk music the way that I do. There's so much about that movie that's so funny because of the folk music aspect of it, and growing up with a music nerd for a dad who taught me everything from every genre. Like folk is, I know a lot of the history of folk, and so a lot of the jokes are so funny to me. Like when we do Walk Hard, The Legend of Dewey Cox, and we will.
No, and I want to.
So many of those jokes are lost on a lot of people, but I get all of them because I know the history of 60s rock and roll up through the 90s because I was taught it by my father.
That duet song alone.
Let's do it.
Oh my god, puns.
Hey, you can always come in my back door.
Pun heavy and euphemisms and
Innuendo.
innuendos.
In your endo.
I also remember this Oscars because 2 musical artists got to do original songs for the same movie. You had Elvis Costello do Scarlet Tide for Cold Mountain.
Okay.
And then Sting also performed You Will Be My Ain True Love, also from Cold Mountain. But the winner, like I don't remember anything about Elvis Costello. I don't remember anything about Cold Mountain in general, but
I saw it once and I have no
I saw it
memory
once
of it
and
either.
I remember
I remember, a dirty Renee Zellweger. That's all
and
I
a
remember.
dirty,
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
That's
they're
the movie.
They're fighting over what's his face? The Penguin. Irishman. Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
I'd say I couldn't even tell you that Colin Farrell was in that movie.
Yeah.
But Annie Lennox
Fucking
won
Jesus Christ. Oh,
for
God.
Into the West from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. It's such a good song. And as much as I'm always for like the underdog or the international film to like
Lord of the Rings deserved every single Oscar they were nominated for across the board.
especially every year, but especially Return of the King.
Especially Return of the King. I mean, it didn't get the way, but the Fellowship was better.
Well, this is the part of the show where we usually talk about the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I am very unfamiliar with the cast.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
If there's any like famous French actor in this or somebody that people know now that has become
There
more famous
is
since.
an American dub of this film. We did not watch that.
No, I thought the French version was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is the version to watch. But I'm seeing on IMDb that there are people listed as English version. I still don't recognize those names at all. But yeah, there could have been an American dub at some point. Not that it needed it to be. Like, this movie was very understandable for... I mean, first of all, not a lot of dialogue. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a French-made film, but anyone could watch it and understand exactly what's going on. And there are parts that you don't necessarily catch up on. I mean, there are parts where they're speaking in French about the news and the president's doing something, which I'm sure adds some detail to the story.
The only words that I knew that the president said was Tour de France. That's the only thing that I got from the president's speech. So I was like, okay, so he's probably talking about and introducing the Tour de France.
Yeah, as I'm going through the list of actors, like even the triplets have like both a speaking voice and a singing voice. The woman who plays the grandma, Monica Vigas, this is the only thing she's ever done. A well-rounded and very entertaining cast, but we don't know who these people are. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about them, but how do you talk about somebody that you've only seen them in one movie and that's the only thing they've ever done?
Another French movie specifically and animated that I was thinking of when we were watching this, just because of the lack of dialogue, and it was all just based off of visual and body language, regular human cues that we all take up on no matter what language we speak. It's a French film from 1973 called Fantastic Planet.
Oh, I've only seen bits and pieces of Fantastic Planet.
It's like these strange blue alien type creatures. Very surreal, very just weird. It's a weird film, but it's definitely worth a watch, especially for French film history animation.
In lieu of talking about the actors, we could talk about the characters. The main character, of course, being this adorable little grandma who does the fucking work every single time. I love her, that she's got like one leg that's shorter than the other. Yeah. And so her shoe is bigger. I think that's delightfully clever in terms of character design. Absolutely comes in handy later. I thought she was great. I loved how she spoke through whistle sometimes,
especially for training.
Yeah, and she really was doing what she could to try to figure out how to make her little orphan grandson feel better about, I guess, being a little orphan. And, she tried music, she tried the dog, she tried trains, she tried so many things. And it turned out that he was super into cycling, and so that's what became his passion. The jump scare that I got from going from that sweet, chubby little boy on the tricycle to that gaunt, horse-looking fucking face of the grandson later in the movie, horrified me.
Well, the bicyclists, the three bicyclists, especially the other two,
well, they were very horse-like,
yes, making horse noises,
yes,
and
the grunts and the
clonking. And
I absolutely understood it so much. I hated the design of it, though. That man's face.
But that's what bicyclists look like. Like those.
I mean, the thighs I get.
It's kind of making fun of like the thighs, the calves.
How skinny they are on top, how thick they are on bottom.
Yeah.
No, I got
massive legs, and that's it.
I got all of that. But still, that sharp, beaky nose and those big, dead eyes, that might haunt my nightmares. That guy was so scary to me.
It's kind of frustrating when you watch a movie like this and the characters don't respond to anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, why aren't you trying to escape?
Yeah, what's
why
happening
are you
here?
why are you so zoned in? But I think it's also kind of like the director is like, this is what the Tour de France is.
Yeah.
This is what these bicyclists go through. I mean, I've watched the Tour de France before, and it is...
Our chiropractor is super into it.
Insane. Well, when growing up, I watched it with my dad.
I only am there for, like, the occasional pile-ups that happen. Like that woman that, like, flashed everybody and caused a huge pile-up, and then it was a big international uproar. That was funny. But no,
Lance Armstrong just...
Yeah, and his one testicle lying his way to the top.
Lying his way through to the top for multiple years.
Man, that was a long con, wasn't it?
Long con. And
yeah.
Should have retired early.
Yeah,
Should've.
Seriously.
Should have just taken the wins and retired and just been like,
look,
cool.
Everybody's considered he was considered the greatest for a time, but just because he's replaced by somebody doesn't make his accomplishments any less, right? Like so we've been watching The Right Stuff, folks, at home. And in the first part of that movie, it shows Chuck Yeager constantly trying to, like, every time somebody beats his record, he goes back out and beats their record.
Yeah, because he has to be on top.
Because he has to be on top. And it's
Which I understand. That's almost his... That's his...
Yeah, but it's not necessary.
What he does. It's what he does.
I know that's what he does, but it almost killed him.
He wants to be remembered for...
He's going to be remembered for being the first man to break the sound barrier.
Yeah, I know.
And then what? The list of accomplishments just needs to be longer? He's already fucking there. He was the fastest for a time. But he's still on the list.
Athletes.
Just because...
I know he's a pilot, but it's kind of the same mindset of an athlete. Professional athletes,
because the Seahawks won the Super Bowl this past year doesn't make the Eagles the year before any less important.
What makes football players who have multiple Super Bowl wins go to a completely different team and just suck?
Oh,
when you could have,
I fucking love it.
My
God,
when you could have retired much earlier and just been like, I'm done, I did it.
I mean, apologies to my sweet friend Jesse, but fucking suck it, Brady. He was on top of the world, and then it came crashing down around him, and
he's super rich. And
I know he's super rich, but he tried.
Now
he was like,
on TV all the time as a
I'm going to stop. And then he went out and he kept trying, and it failed horribly for him, and I enjoyed that.
Michael Jordan did the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't dislike Michael Jordan the way that I dislike Tom Brady.
It's true. Michael Jordan's much more likable.
Yes. But no, I don't understand. I am not, as a non-athletic, non-competitive person, whether it's against anybody else or myself, because there are those people that are super competitive against themselves. I understand that it's a quirk and maybe a slight mental illness, and they look at my nerdiness and my toxic empathy and my, holly-go-lucky attitude and my bounciness, and they're probably like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman's head? And I look at them and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy's head? Because that's just how life is. But, like, I don't understand it. I just... to me, I'm like, oh, you won. You're in the record books. Your name's there forever. You're good, right? Good.
When Olympians go back and try to beat their own record or the world record again.
I totally get it. And they just keep trying. And they get on the Wheaties box. And inevitably there's a downfall. Because there's always a downfall.
Well, who's the famous swimmer?
Phelps,
yeah.
Michael Phelps, yeah.
He, man.
Bit of a downfall.
Not really.
Not bad, but still.
It's
Ryan Lochte, right?
Well,
Ryan Lochte was...
he
did many things. That guy's so stupid.
It was bad, and it pretty much ruined him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the beginning or it was the end of I don't know what it was. Nobody cares about Ryan Lochte.
Smoking weed. Well, I mean, he still does plenty of TV work. That's where he discovered it, right? He was on that episode of 30 Rock as one of the sexual idiots. And...
that was before Brazil, though.
I think technically it came out after. I think it was filmed before, but it came out after. I don't even really remember what happened with him in Brazil, and I don't care. But inevitably, when it comes to being the best, you can only go so high up, and once you're at the top, where do you fucking go? It's real easy to trip and fall all the way down that mountain.
Just like John Glenn and Sam Shepard.
Sam Shepard had no fucking right being as hot as he fucking was in that goddamn movie. Yeah, anyways, I hated the design of the son, the grandson in this fucking
was
movie.
odd.
It was odd, and it made me...
Beginning of the movie, though, I was instantly in love with the animation.
Charming. I didn't appreciate it until the movie got darker, and especially once they got to America. I didn't appreciate the unbelievably gorgeous and lush watercolors that were used to create this, the background and the characters and the world of this movie is made out of watercolors, and they are so rich and beautiful. The vibrancy of this film was unbelievable, but there were a lot of parts that made me deeply uncomfortable. And so I am kind of struggling on those two sides, because on the one hand, I understand why people fucking love this movie. And on the other hand, I'm like, there was just too much that I disliked. So I don't know how to feel here. And not even disliked, but just made me feel wild. Like, the grandson's face made me feel uncomfortable. The entire sequence inside of the triplets' apartment, when from the time that they bring Grandma and Bruno home with them to, like...
There are many moments where you're like
the next concert.
Why are they acting this way? But then the next scene would show you exactly why they're acting this way.
Like, the vacuum and everything.
The vacuum, the refrigerator.
That was lovely. That was such a beautiful way of of wondering why these things are important and then finding out. But the whole thing with the frogs and that dinner and just the awkwardness of everybody kind of doing their own thing, and the grandma's just sitting there.
Frog soup followed by frog stew followed by tadpoles for dessert.
Ugh. And they were so disgusting. And I was just so deeply uncomfortable by that entire experience. And then it didn't help that every 3 minutes the dog would be barking at the train. So not only are you getting the loud train noise, but you're getting the dog barking. I loved
the ongoing joke of the dog in the train.
I absolutely love that too. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was so sweet. But there was a point in that sequence with the tadpoles where he had been barking for too long. And the food was weird, and I was uncomfortable, and I was just like, scene. I really need this part.
I think it's supposed to be making you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I needed it to be over quicker.
And not feeling like you're
safe,
supposed to be there.
Yeah. Or even that they're supposed to be there. And, I mean, that apartment complex of them going up through past all the hookers and past all the drugs and all the other things, naked women and stuff. I was so fascinated by all of that. That was so... incredibly beautiful. I loved the way this guy made fun of Americans.
Well, especially when they go to America.
Yes. It's supposed to be like a mixture of America and Montreal, so New York and Montreal.
But Belleville is essentially New York.
Yeah, these big cities. The cities were just so gross and wild and weird, and all the people were so fat, and there were a few digs at Disney, and it was just such an interesting story. Background. It was so much interesting background to it, right? The people that we saw, the other characters, but the story itself is just grandma trying to save her grandson with the help of these wacky ladies.
Yeah,
and that's really lovely.
Her grandson was kidnapped by the mob.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Yeah. Well,
because
the French mob, I guess, because they wanted to bet on the Tour de France, but in person.
The execution on their part for whatever these mobsters that needed him and two other contestants to do this in-person bicycle race that people could bet on was definitely it was odd. It was new to just okay, what an interesting concept, and to make them believe that they were still in a race, that they had this, not just a film. I love that it was a projector that was actually there the whole time, especially when they're driving through the city with this whole set.
Yes, and the projection is still there because that's what's keeping these guys
pedaling.
Yeah.
It's so goofy.
I don't feel like there's much need to wait to get to this point. The car chase at the end gave me so much life because it had every car chase stereotype. So it had cars flipping, right? It had cars crashing into buildings and restaurants, blowing up, going off cliffs and blowing up, no less. It had the train. It had racing the train, right?
I love just the the design of the car
Oh, I know.
versus the weight and size of the mobster.
The mob men.
But making the car like off balance and like flipping down the steep
when it just kept
road.
going over and over. So fucking funny.
All the different ways that each car got taken out. On
but they
that
were
car
all
chase.
like that version of the stereotype Fast and Furious,
of
as
course.
like watching that with the mindset of like a Fast and Furious movie. It's so funny, and it was so clever.
It was,
because I was
for
just
sure.
like, once they came up on the train, I was like, oh my god, there's going to be that moment where they pass the train, and but
and the dog still barks
and the
at it,
dog
and he
still barks
as
at
it
it.
passes by him, right as it passes by him, because they were still very close to the track.
Yeah.
He starts yelping just like he did when the train ran over his tail.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It was like really clever.
so funny. I was so
Great
enchanted
payoff.
by that part. I loved the henchmen, how they were just bricks of black.
2 bricks protecting their main,
and like one's a
gangster
brick
guy.
and is there, and the other one's a brick and is there, and then when they come together and they fuse into just this impenetrable brick of 2 guys. And you're right, the little guy in the bottom. Going back to the character design, the little mouse man who was the little repair guy,
Yeah, who made all
and
the
his little
mouse
squeaks,
noises.
I love him, Your Honor. I love that little man. I thought he was so precious and cute. And yeah, he was just such a little mouse, and he was adorable.
I had to remind myself of a few things that I saw. I mean, one of them was the fact that Statue of Liberty was overweight with a cheeseburger in her hand.
No, I know that was making fun of us in fucking 2003.
We're so easy to make fun of.
But that is
Like,
that
look at us.
still could 1000% be the Statue of Liberty, especially these days. Like, if you showed me an image in a movie from last year of that, I'd be like, oh no, yeah, that's a solid burn on us. But the fact that it was from 2000, it was, from
The French
23 years ago.
making
We're like,
fun of us.
you know what? And we love making fun of the French. It's a very decent symbiotic relationship.
Go back and forth.
Because, look, the France.
France. Those France people.
Those France people, that French. France has had a long-standing partnership with America from the beginning. I learned this from Hamilton. Lafayette!
I mean, they gave us Statue of Liberty.
They gave us the Statue of Liberty.
With the cheeseburger.
France and America have been best frenemies for a while now. Yes, we've had to save their asses a few times. Yes, they have saved our asses a few times.
We fought them a little bit.
We've fought them a little bit. At the moment, who the fuck knows what American relations are with the rest. I mean, we know what they're with the rest of the world.
Maybe we know what they are with the rest of the world.
Oh my god! They'll be good to us again. I don't know, but as long the French love making fun of us, but we fucking love making fun of them. The whole freedom fries bullshit. Which, by the fucking way, I should have known back then that we were capable of what we've done since. Because of freedom fries alone. I'm not going to eat French fries. They're from Belgium.
Paul Verhoeven, famous French director Paul Verhoeven, has made fun of his movies make fun of Americans all the time. I mean, RoboCop makes fun of Americans. Starship Troopers definitely is making fun of Americans.
It is
if
interesting.
You haven't caught on to
the levels that he is able to make fun of us in those particular movies and what he has to say about us in those movies.
He does very well of being like, look at this great American action film that I'm giving you.
Yeah, and then
but
when you go like
fun
one layer down,
time.
you're like, oh wait.
Oh shit.
And you know what? Fucking good.
No, it's
fun of our asses.
It's hilarious, and the stuff that he's pointing out is legitimately worth pointing out.
So I really liked seeing the grandma not only train in the Tour de France with her grandson, because she did.
The fact that she was training with him on a tricycle.
Training with him on the tricycle. It went to it made all the sense in the world that she then followed that whole fucking ship in that little paddle boat across the Atlantic.
I love, oh my god, the 1 franc for 2 hours or whatever it was.
Yes. And he's like, "You're gonna come back, right?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." Apparently, we didn't
just keeps.
We didn't catch it, but apparently at the end of the credits, that man is shown still waiting on the beach for her.
Good old post-credits.
Good old post-credit scene. I also enjoyed when Grandma went full Matt Murdock and pretended to be blind to stake out.
Grandma was
great. Grandma put in the fucking work.
She was straight up.
She's gangster.
No, she was Liam Neeson level.
Oh my god! This is just an animated Taken.
Yeah, animated Taken, a gender reversal. Like instead of a guy looking for his daughter,
for once the human trafficking
is grandma
men.
looking for her
No, humans being
grandson.
trafficked are men. They're fucking Frenchmen instead of it being supple young Americans. I also really liked that the French mob, the building that they were in was called the French Cellar, but it was spelled Seller. I also loved the design of that beautiful house and that beautiful countryside, and then you see the world start to change around it.
Yeah, the
and then
fast forward of him growing up.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the train is
the track is
his
pushing
building. Yeah, the
their
building
home to the side.
Mm-hmm.
That was very.
I really enjoyed the slice of life moment.
The
there
visuals,
too. The dinner that we got was very interesting.
The world that they animated and built.
They packed so much into. It felt like it went on forever, but this movie's only an hour and 20 minutes.
It's so short.
It's so short.
One of the shortest animated films that I think we've ever done on this podcast.
Yeah, it's probably the shortest film we've ever done.
It might be 80 minutes. Is so short for any
but
film.
It felt like we were in that little French countryside for so long.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it felt like that slice of life day with the dinner and everything took so long. But it just
they
felt
weren't
so
in a hurry.
rich and
The movie was
lived
not in a hurry at all.
No,
and
it really wasn't.
It really wanted to show you. I love animation because animation takes time
to make
to do.
Yeah,
and when
people should sit in it for a little bit.
When an animator can be like, let me show you some animation. Like, let me really show you some animation, and you get to watch detail, length, and same thing with stop motion. When stop motion is really showing you like a really extra long, it's like doing a long take.
Yeah.
When you see how much work an animator is putting into something, when you start noticing, not in this movie, but in other movies, when you start noticing like animation frame rate going up, like when they go from 12 frames a second to 24 frames a second, you really notice, and there's so much extra work that has to go into that. That's why there's a lot of movies still today that are just jaw-droppingly great when they put the effort into it. Things like Akira, which is coming back for an IMAX re-release, just for people out there to know that watch Akira on IMAX. I'll be there.
I probably won't be.
No, you probably won't be. But the animation, like if you want to see some great animation.
I mean, look, I've never seen it, but I know it's a film I'm going to have to see. So I may as well go with you.
It's weird, and you're going to leave just being like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, so maybe I won't.
But if you want to just go for the animation alone.
I love animation as a medium of art, right? Because this movie it's less of a film and more of a work of art, right? It's an incredibly told story in such a beautiful way. And as we sat down to record this podcast, listeners, I wasn't thrilled with the idea of talking about this movie. And I was also like, I'm probably going to give it a bad score. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, there was so much more that I appreciated than disliked. But the art of animation is so spectacular because you can do everything with it. You can do everything that you can imagine you can create through animation. And you can just do weird shit like Crumb did that was all like sexual and bizarre. You could do, what Walt did with Mickey, where it was all wholesome and cute and bouncy. The artistry of the background scenes of Beauty and the Beast is something that needs to be experienced. I don't know when the last time y'all or watched Beauty and the Beast, like really watched it, but if you just study the backgrounds of that movie,
like what's happening,
everything, just the way that they were painted, just the artistry that went into creating the backgrounds and the world of that movie. And let's be honest, we've all seen the movie 8,000 times. You can actually pay attention to like the background and the people milling around in the back and the way that the castle was painted and the use of light and animation. It's stunning. And I am so glad that I get to enjoy that. You know, I as much as I love just sitting down and watching a really stupid movie, we watched the second Super Mario Brothers recently. That movie is goddamn dumb. It was really pretty and it was entertaining. I was actually genuinely shocked at how much more I was engrossed in it than I thought I would be. And the action sequences were rad. But that is an animated film. That is not a piece of art.
My favorite parts were the winks to the video games.
Oh, yeah, of course they were.
When they do, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember. But
And that's all that movie is, though.
It's a lot of
Built
nostalgia and a lot of
plot
member berries.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Right? But they do that because they know parents are going to have to come along with it. And also it's low-hanging fruit. It's the easiest way to make a movie quickly.
Seeing it animated and just part of a movie.
Oh, no, yeah, of course. But there's a little
the music.
nerdy.
I think the music in that movie was probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think the action sequences, and there were some one-shots that were incredibly well done.
I've seen animated films that have great one-shots or animated films that bring you down with... It's not just so two-dimensional that they bring you down into a crowd and you walk through a crowd, even though this is hand-drawn, two-dimensional animation, and you watch it, you're just like, God damn, that's so great for the 1980s. And that's the stuff that I really love. But I also
animation is art.
I really love watching modern CG animation too.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, look at what Spider-Verse
is one of my favorites. Spider-Verse
Tangled is gorgeous.
Amazing. So beautiful.
Yeah, like there are definitely like incredible animated films out there, and then there's the shit. But I just love it as a medium, and I love what it can do. I am so excited to watch Wildwoods when it comes out later this year. And I don't remember the last time that I was actively like, I'm going to go to the movies and watch
a film.
A Leica film. Like I actually don't remember the last Leica film I saw in theater.
I may not have seen a Leica film in theater.
I might have to look at a list.
Because I didn't see Coraline for the first time in theater.
No, I don't think I saw it in theater either. I didn't see the Bigfoot one. It's been a while.
They're always at home. Like I feel like Leica's always at home.
Wildwoods, I want to see on the biggest screen possible.
Same thing with like Wallace and Gromit.
I've never seen a Wallace and Gromit movie in person.
I know that's not Leica, but
or
I'm
in
just
the
saying,
theater. Yeah.
As far as stop motion goes, I didn't see that in the theater.
Did see Arthur Christmas in the theater, but
not stop motion.
Not stop motion. No, that is computer animated. I saw Chicken Run in the theater.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely one I saw in the theater.
I did not see Nightmare Before Christmas in the theater.
I mean, you have though.
I have later.
Yes, but not the first time.
Not the first time. No, the first time was on.
I don't think
DVD.
I might have seen James and the Giant Peach in theater. My parents might have taken me to see that one, or I went with a friend. But fucking Wildwoods is. I want to see that on the biggest screen possible. That movie looks so stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, that's the kind of movie, and that's why we want to see the theater because it looks. When you can just from a trailer see the detail and hard work that people are putting into something, and
the beauty of that one, yeah,
the visuals and the work that goes into stop motion.
If given the chance to, I would also love to see Kubo and the Two Strings in theater. Anyways, for all it's worth, this movie is stunning. It's a very interesting film. It is kind of so different from what we have been used to. And I really didn't think as highly of it until I sat down and started to rethink about it. But all this to say, I'm still going to give it 3.5 stars. There was too much that made me deeply uncomfortable about it too. And I am going to, I'm going to let that phase how my rating of it. I can definitely talk to people about what a beautiful movie is, but still just be like, yeah, but like,
story-wise,
the best movie I've ever seen. Yeah, story-wise,
which is why I also would give it a 3.5.
God damn it, get out of my brain.
We just like movies equally,
but for very different reasons.
Yeah, we can like a movie or hate a movie for different reasons.
Yeah, but still feel the same rating about it. Yeah.
You married somebody a while. It's just the way.
Only been 20 years.
I think there's going to be some movies coming up that maybe we have different opinions about.
Maybe.
I feel like we always have different opinions when it comes to like a Martin Scorsese film.
We are gonna. I mean, I haven't seen Casino in such a long time. That's going to be an interesting take because
and I know of
Casino versus where that story eventually goes.
I know I did. I said until my recent rewatch, I said that The Departed
Was your favorite?
favorite or
Best.
a favorite.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Yeah.
And it might still be in top 5. But I also haven't watched. He's got so many movies, and it's July, and I don't think I still haven't finished Mean Streets.
Yeah.
Which was the first film that I was planning on watching in my watch all of Scorsese's films.
Yeah.
That I'm doing
I mean,
privately.
look, those
but
films are there. And as long as
they're
we
not
were
going
aware, you've got the
anywhere
time.
right now, and I'm going to get to them. But my goal is by the end of 2027 to have his whole filmography watched, and so I'm off to a terrible start.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, like we have caught up on quite a few, and we're going to be watching another one soon. Not next week, but soon. There is Casino in our future.
Casino's in our future, and
yeah.
I look forward to find out what we have to talk about.
But are we ever going to watch Jack?
I'm going to have to. I don't think we're going to talk about Jack. Does this podcast deserve
own
Jack?
Punishment?
I know Jack has become an inside joke for this podcast.
1000% has, because did you guys know that Martin Scorsese directed Jack, the movie where Robin Williams plays a 10-year-old at 40?
I don't remember liking it. I only watched it once.
It being good, yeah.
It's not considered a good movie even by critics.
Probably liked somewhat more than Patch Adams, but not much.
But you know what? It would be interesting though.
We're not watching it for the show. We
To
can't.
just watch.
I can't sit down and watch Jack with you. Like, I can maybe come in and watch parts of it. I don't know how much of that movie I can handle. Like, how much can Robin Williams really carry that movie?
But by season 4, we might need a Jack in.
We can revisit the Lord of the Rings if need be. Like,
let's repeat movies.
Like, we've done a Star Wars like bonus episode of all of them, but we could just focus in on one. I mean, for God's sakes, Let It Ride exists, and Let It Ride's going to be on this podcast before Jack.
So Maggie.
Yes, honey.
I have 2 questions for you.
So what do you have against the family circus?
Okay. You sit down and read your paper, and you're enjoying your entire 2-page comic spread, right? And then there's the family fucking circus, bottom right-hand corner, just waiting to suck. And that's the last thing you read, so it spoils everything you read before it.
You could just not read it.
I hate it, yet I'm uncontrollably drawn to it.
You know what? He's not wrong. The family circus fucking sucks.
Yeah. I don't think
sucks.
I don't know how.
And he was right. It's always at the very bottom, right? Because you always start in the top left-hand corner with Calvin and Hobbes, and you work your way down and back up and down.
Like BC
and then fucking the Wizard of Id and all those ones, Kathy, and there are ones that you didn't really ever read, and then you skip to the other page that had like the Far Side and the other ones, and there was always fucking the family circus down in the bottom corner, and you always read it, and you always went, God. And if Ziggy was there, all the worse for you.
Ziggy sucks.
Ziggy fucking sucks.
Ziggy has never once been funny.
Never once been funny.
As we have found out over the last few years.
Fuck Ziggy. But yeah, that's he's 1000% right. What is that from?
I was like,
is that from Go?
Oh my God! How did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that?
I was like, okay, he's young in this. That's his young voice. It sounds like he's sitting in a cafe or a fucking diner or something. He's talking to a girl. The only one of his movie, and we've already done Scream, so the only one of the movies that I could think was Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go was a big movie for him.
It was.
It was a big movie for a lot of different actors.
Yeah.
Sarah Polley, who didn't really go forward acting, but became a big director, won an Oscar for adapted screenplay for a movie called Women Talking. It also had, we're talking about Jay Moore, Katie Holmes, who you heard talking with Timothy, and then William Fichtner, who
we do love
him.
Yeah.
Taye Diggs. Yeah, Go. If you haven't seen Go,
Which I don't think I have.
Oh man, it's from 1999. It's definitely of its time. It's from the director of Swingers. which Doug Liman, who I like from The Bourne Identity.
Mm-hmm.
He also did Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Mm-hmm.
You and I really like Edge of Tomorrow.
We do like Edge of Tomorrow,
which is probably one of my more favorite. It's not a word or a phrase, but
one of your most favorite Tom Cruise movies.
Yes, but also Doug Liman films as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Edge of Tomorrow is probably one of his strongest.
Live, die, repeat.
Bourne Identity was like his
Mm-hmm.
a good. That was the first, and I think the first is still the best. But Swingers is fun, but I haven't seen that in years.
I haven't seen it in years. Honestly, I would only rewatch it just to see the guys from Big Bad Voodoo Daddies as babies. Even when I was super into swing dancing in my early 20s and that movie became a part of my repertoire, I still couldn't stand Vince Vaughn. I hate him so much in that movie. And that's enough for me. I will watch the parts at the Derby with the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Movie that you like?
I haven't seen Reading Crashers in a really long time, but I remember that one being funny.
You
Although now
probably
it's super problematic.
I'm sure
now.
it's very problematic in 2026.
It absolutely is. Oh, what other Vince Vaughn movie can I think of off the top of my head? I really like Jurassic Park 2.
You know what? As far as Vince Vaughn movies go, Jurassic Park 2 is a really strong one.
And he
lives in it, yeah. Spoiler alert.
Toby should have, but whatever.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, so that's probably my favorite Vince Vaughn movie that I can currently think of at this very moment. Yeah.
Well.
Yes.
All that being said.
Oh yeah.
Watch Go. But
we're doing something here, aren't we? Shit.
But also, there's a couple of questions I need to ask you.
Yes. All right. Ask me those 2 questions. It's gonna be a weird one, guys.
What is your favorite color?
Blue. No, red.
Would this film have been better if Timothy Olyphant was in it?
I mean, no, because that would have been so weird to have a very American voice, especially an American voice that I recognize like his. Just if he all of a sudden was like one of the mobsters or like his voice was on the radio, it would have been
international films are.
It would have been weird. No, right? Like I don't know how, and this then leads into the second question.
To make everything much worse.
Yeah. Who would he play?
Who would Timothy Olyphant have played?
I don't know. Right? Like, I guess he could have been the American dubbed voice at the end of the old man, but he was an old man. So it couldn't have been him. I mean, we only hear
Champion.
Champion only has one line, and that line is when he is in his 60s. So that, I guess, Timothy could have done that, but that would have been weird. He could have been one of the voices on the radio. You know?
Also,
but
that ending.
That ending is bizarre.
At first, I didn't understand the ending too much, but it was a callback to the beginning of the movie where, when he was young, Grandma asked, "Is it over?" And
about the movie that they had just been watching. That
and
gets interrupted in the middle of it.
And so Grandma and the dog have passed, and Champion's by himself, and what he's watching ends. Yeah. And he turns to his side, and it's like, it's over, Grandma.
Yeah, which is very interesting and tender and sad and wonderful, and it definitely adds a really gorgeous layer to it. But could Timothy Olyphant done that? Sure, I guess. I don't know.
And a little outside what we had seen previously in the film.
Yeah, because it shows the group, the triplets, and the son, the grandson, and I can't stop calling him son, the grandson, and then the other bicyclists. And everybody, all the good guys, they're riding off into the distance, into the hills. And then it kind of pulls back from that. And then it pulls through the television, almost revealing that he had been watching a movie based on their shenanigans in the first place, which maybe or maybe not he was. But yeah, when he's like, "It's over now, Grandma, that is a very sweet, way of ending it." Because, that grandma did literally everything for him. But going back to the question at hand, I don't think, he shouldn't have been in it. And he shouldn't be in it anywhere. And next week it's going to be equally hard because, no,
guess what?
It's weird. So I don't know. It's hard shoving his beautiful face in international film. Like if we were to watch RRR and you were like, who should he play? I'd be like, I don't know. I guess one of the shitty British guys that gets shot in the face. Like I don't know.
The guy who gets arm stabbed by the buck.
Yeah, no, that would have been
The one that had been
the big,
taunting him with
yeah.
the motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That guy's a dick. And that has been this week's episode of Movie Mingle on the Triplets of Belleville, and we hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. As ever, you can find us on Instagram, Threads, and Letterboxd at Movie Mingle Pod. You can find us on YouTube at Movie Mingle Podcast, and you can write us any of your thoughts and questions, comments, and concerns at movieminglepod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Next week, it's going to be hard to fit Timothy Olyphant into this one, folks, because we are going to be watching the classic Japanese film Seven Samurai, a first for both Caveman and I, which is it's going to be very interesting to watch sort of the beginning of a story that I've been told time and 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 time again. Everybody is stolen from this movie, so it's going to be really interesting to watch the original and see what I can pick out from there. So join us for that next week. Until then, take good care of yourselves. Be kind to each other in this big wide world. Remember, kindness begets kindness, and it always will. And you know what? Maybe call your grandma if you still can, because she loves you and she would literally swim the Atlantic Ocean for you. Now go mingle. Bye.
Are you an effective team?
We are an effective team.
Let them fight.
How did you just do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
Here on Caladan, we ruled by air power and sea power. On Arrakis, we need to cultivate desert power.
Welcome, Mr. Beach. What's that bar? I'm a little confused.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
I don't want to brag, but I will. I was in the Avengers.
The Avengers?
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. What is that?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Toga, toga, toga.